Hey guys, this is Ryan from the Mavericks, mavericks.goldwynandsons.com. This is podcast episode 23, and on this surreal Saturday, I just wanted to review with you my past and sort of the intention of the Mavericks. Now, you've probably never heard of me. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not some super successful entrepreneur. I'm going to say that flat out. What I am is an average guy, a father, a husband, a Catholic, who wants to raise the quality of life for my family, who wants to reach that status of wealth. Why? Because I believe there are projects that I need to achieve by the time I die that require lots of capital. And I don't care that if by the time I die without a penny to my name. All I care is that those projects get achieved before the day I die. And I know that those projects require billions of dollars or billions of dollars worth of influence to make possible. So I am on this journey towards reaching that level of wealth. I'm not reaching it because it's a financial metric. I'm reaching it because that's what I need to achieve those projects. And one day, maybe I'll be open enough to tell you what those projects are. But essentially, this is what I document here on a daily basis on the Mavericks podcast is what I am learning on a daily basis, going from average Joe, average Ryan, to the Ryan that I see myself in 10, 20, and 30 years. These are the methods that I'm picking up from mentors and masterminds and everything that I'm around so that I can get to that status. So that's where I'm coming from. As to what I have achieved over the last several years. Well, some of my greatest achievements have been that I graduated from engineering management, engineering physics and management from McMaster. When I started the program, my second year, I didn't understand a thing that was happening. I thought I was going to fail throughout. I didn't think I was going to finish the program because it was such a difficult concept to grasp. Quantum physics, nuclear engineering, photonics, it just was way beyond me. But because I have that attitude that whatever I start, I have to finish, I saw it through. It took 7 years, but I finished my engineering management program. It's normally a 5-year program, but then there was a 1 year of internship, and I split the last year into 2 pieces, into 2 years, so that I could better manage it. So I was able to graduate. That was one of my great achievements. I did work at several corporations, and I had some not issues, but I just didn't like working for someone else. I always wanted to start my own business, but that again from 2011 to about 2014, I really didn't take any steps like that, other than Grit Cause, which was my first business I ever started, and it was a software business. It allowed me to learn everything about web development. That finally launched my career into the web development space, but I was never able to take that business anywhere. So Grit Cause closed down. I went into the web development space, did that for a few years. During that stint, I had done what I'd always wanted to do, but never had the guts to do, which is I joined the Canadian Forces Reserves for about 2 years as an Army officer, as an engineering officer, for several reasons. One being that I didn't see that I would realistically be able to finish the training with my full-time job. And because I was sort of disheartened by the fact that maybe I wouldn't be able to do all the different projects I wanted to do as an Army engineer, I left the forces in 2016. I still remember everything that I had learned during the forces, and I still retain great love for my brothers and sisters that I worked with in the Canadian Forces. But I felt that it wasn't for me. So after that, I went back into the corporate world. Oh, it was actually a tech company. And then I decided, now's the time. I've got to start a business. So my brother and I started Epoch Barbershop, which some of you might remember. It was back in Brampton. We didn't really like the kind of clientele that we were getting in the area. And at that time when we started the business, we started it with the idea that we just wanted to get our money back. So out of fear, we started a business that was very, very cost sensitive. And what ended up happening was my brother and I had a disagreement. So I sort of took a back step to the business. The business ran itself. And then we both came to an agreement that this was probably not the best kind of business to run in this area. So we closed that business off. About a year later or 2 years later, I told him, Russ, I really think I don't want to waste all the knowledge we gained opening that first business, because I had to go to the city. I had to learn how to liaise with lawyers and accountants and staff at the at Brampton City Hall in order to understand how to open a business. I didn't want to lose all that information. So I said, let's open another business. And that's when Goldwyn and Sons was born. And at that time, we were taking a stroll through the lakeside of Lakeshore, and it was beautiful weather, and we just felt like we could be one day successful. And we said, we could use the Epoch name, but is there another type of business that we can compete with in the barber space? And Russell had mentioned True Fit and Hill. And I was thinking, True Fit and Hill, that has a good ring to it. Sort of like, Johnny Walker and Sons or Jameson and Sons. And then Russell was like, why don't we name our business Goldwyn and Sons? We thought about Goldwyn and Sons Barbershop. Sounded fantastic. So that's how the name came about. And that was 2019. We incorporated the business. We agreed to use a home line of credit to finance the business. And a lot of banks disagreed with that. But in my opinion, the banks wanted me to personally guarantee the loan. And my home line of credit had a lower interest rate. So if I had to guarantee the loan in both instances, why would I take the higher interest rate with a set payment plan? So we went with a home line of credit, and we started Goldwyn and Sons. What is surreal that I mentioned in Surreal Saturday is that I did graduate engineering, I did join the forces, and I did start a business. In fact, I started three businesses. Two of them didn't work. One was at the cusp of working, which was Goldwyn and Sons. 2 weeks later, Goldwyn and Sons got hit by COVID, and we had to close down. And it was like months of opening, months of closing, trying to figure out how to navigate that whole system, especially when we dumped in about $100,000 worth of renovations into that unit. So the business did survive after 3 years. We sort of found our footing. And when I look back, I'm shocked that we actually survived that. So we went through that period, we got through. And I think one of the best accolades I got from that was from a CEO of a massive company who personally looked at me in the eyes and said, Ryan, Russell, you survived COVID, and there were many businesses that are older than you that had far more capital than you that didn't make it, but you guys did. So be proud of yourself. Another one of the accolades that really touches my heart was when a client came up to me and he said, Ryan, Russell, I'm so glad you brothers are in my life. So we've survived COVID. We have a business that's operating now. Russell is full to the brim, and he's making all the income. Like he's generating all the income needed to take care of the shop. So the shop is profitable, but in this situation, what I told Russell is, right now, I don't think I'm contributing enough to take a profit or to take any compensation from the business. So I've decided to not take compensation from the business, right? Because Russell's really the only barber there, and we're not really having that many drink sales at the bar. But even still, I still want to be at the shop and build a relationship with everyone that's coming to Goldwyn and Sons, because I feel that relationship will pay dividends down the road. So that's the barbershop. We do have another project that's on the go, but it's secret, and it's to you that have visited the shop, you know about it, and it's building up. So that's that second business. But the main business I'm really focused on now is Mavericks, right? I put out the Mavericks podcast because I want you to show that I'm just an average guy trying to get to the billionaire status. And you're seeing me in the process of doing that. I don't have $100 million net worth. I don't have anything to my name except the effort and the determination to get to that step, to get to that end goal. So you're going to see that, you're going to be part of it, and hopefully it'll help you on the way when I get up there. At the same time, so that's the Mavericks podcast. At the same time, I'm working on Mavericks events. So every 2 months, I hope to have Mavericks events where we mastermind, we meet with each other, and we help each other build out our businesses or whatever we're working on to get further and to reach our goals. And from there, one day I hope to develop what I call the Mavericks Chapter House. So the Chapter House was the idea that I've always wanted to start when I started Goldwyn and Sons. It was sort of going to be the one-stop shop for the Maverick. And for you that have come to the shop, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, come to the shop. I'll give you a gist about what I'm talking about. I have a vision board of what it looks like, and I'd be happy to share it with you. But anyway, I just want you to know I'm just an average guy trying to get to an extraordinary state in life that I don't think I've ever seen anyone else in my family do. For the sake of my family and for the sake of these massive projects that I want to deliver to the world, for the sake of the world. I'm not doing this to my name. I'm doing this for everyone else because I love you all, and I just want to see the world become a better place, and I want to play my part in doing that. And I feel that one of those steps is to get to that billionaire status. So this is my journey getting there. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I just want you to know I'm just like you, and I hope you'll join the journey. We can help each other get to that state. And again, if you want to join us, mavericks.goldenandsons.com. Take care.